Hey, Spuddies, Potato Big Whiskey here, and welcome back to Let's Play Civilization 6 as Georgia, playing a little Tamar. And we're making really good progress on recovering from a disastrous, and I mean disastrous early game. I mean, if you take a moment here to appreciate that, we're making 100 science per turn, and the top science is making 200. We're not too far off the average, with the average AI about 150 science. In terms of culture, we're making about 150 per turn, with the top culture making 161. So we're doing pretty well on the culture side of things. From a faith point of view, we're making 183 faith, with some of the top faith people making over 200. So we're not doing too bad on the metrics. We are doing pretty bad on the tempo. Now, we need to pick a new technology to go for. We do want to go for synthetic materials, but it's a very late game tech. Like, it's going to take a very long time to get there. So I think we could focus on getting some other stuff on the way there. One of the most important techs when you're going for a tourism victory is flight and computers. Those are two very important. Radio to a lesser extent because of the great musicians, but yeah, those are the big ones. So I think what we'll do, we are starting to get a lot of harbors, so I do think the shipyard could be pretty high value for us in terms of improving our sim city. Now, our settlement plans were kind of torpedoed by the AI here, but we can still make it work a little bit if we move these cities to the left. Like, if I were to settle right here, I could still settle right here, and this still makes sense. I could even try to purchase this Mercury and get 3 copies of Mercury in these cities. It's kind of annoying that the AI decided to settle this after this land had been open for so long. But yeah, we're hunting for those luxuries. Now, let's have a look. We have a builder over here. I think we were just chopping out this land to try to get a bit of tempo in Kumana. So that's exactly what we'll do. We can start exploring the empty ocean. Amazingly, Sinbad is somehow still hanging around exploring for us. And I have these stolen builders to go explore the interior of the enemy's empires. We will get that fish online. 3 food, 3 gold is a pretty damn good tile for growth tempo. Let's go get that niter online as well. You're in position for a chop, although we're not ready for the chop itself. We got a little eruption there. Okay, so we got a trader in Mitsketa. Now, I believe we're already trading with Tbilisi. Tishkin Valley could probably make use of the trader. I am going to continue to make traders in Mitsketa. Get up there. You move here. Continue exploring. Aha, okay. We may have found another island location for us to settle. You're going to move over. Perfect. So we're setting up for a settlement here. We got the amphitheater in Kumana. Let's go ahead and build the preserve. Like, why not? I don't have anything against building the preserve. Get that up and running. We got the harbor in Tishkin Valley. So let's build the lighthouse. We want to get that trade route stacking. Trade. It's the most important aspect of building a colonial empire. We have a ton of envoys. Now, we had wanted to switch cards here, so I think, wait, what card do we have plugged in? We have the influence card, so we are going to wait until we can get a little bit more out of these. Looks like somebody's building either Mont Saint Michel or Cristo Redentor. The base of those two wonders looks very similar to me. Okay, now in Tikshumi, we have our workshop. We would like our archaeological museum, but is now the time? We don't need the granary. We could probably make use of some builders here. It's not terrible. I could also build a spy. Let's build our spy. Now, something we could consider here is, if you take a look at this tile, right? This could get up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 appeal. So this could be a pretty decent seaside resort here. So that would be a +5, basically, eventually. This tile right here would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This could also be a pretty decent seaside resort. I'm annoyed that they can't be built on hills. Let's have a look here. We've got another pretty decent seaside resort. We've got at least 1, 2, 3. This may not be the seaside resort for us. We can make some of these work. This could be a maybe, although it's tundra, so it can't be. We would like to settle here purely for the luxuries. So I think in Kutasi, I'm going to buy a settler, as getting these 2 luxuries would be fantastic. Remember, our benefit, yes, perfect, trade route. We want to trade with Tbilisi if we can. The benefit of having a monopoly increases based on the larger the percentage of the luxury on the map that you have, right? So if there's 10 luxuries on the map, your monopoly gets stronger the closer to 10 you have, until you have 10, and then you have a perfect monopoly. So speaking of monopoly, let's try to secure this, and I'm even going to try to secure this. So we stole a couple luxuries from him with tile purchasing, and that will piss him off, but that's fine. I think we need to research banking in order to get proper visibility on the total numbers of things here, but that's fine. We'll put a harbor right there because it gets the +1 adjacency from the crabs, the +2 from Tel Aviv. I will put a harbor right here, +2 or +1 from the fish, +2 from the city center. Then I think we work on the Old God obelisk in both cities so that we can get our stats up. We want a lot of culture. I don't know if we need to promote Reina. I do think tax collector and renewable subsidies could be pretty good, so we might make our way down there. It'll just mean that she generates a little bit more value. If there's a luxury on this island, we will settle it. If there's not, we might consider it. But if there's luxuries on the island, it's like 100% we go for it. I've got 800 gold in the bank. I've got 260 faith. I think things are coming along nicely. Let's go ahead and improve that niter. Perfect. That gives us another high value tile for my empire. Now this guy's upset that I settled near him. I don't plan to settle near him anymore. Also, I'm interested in flipping to me because that could be really useful to me. Let's have a look. Trade routes to, I'll say religious city-states, and 100% production towards buildings in the city center would be really nice. Mostly because things like walls would be a great opportunity for us to get walls up. So city centers did pass. So this is a great opportunity for us to get all 3 tiers of our wall. Sinbad died and we got his relic. That's excellent. That's going to keep pumping up our... unfortunately, we are not... Sikhism. No, what we're looking for is... We want to get converted by a Buddhist, weirdly enough, so we can benefit from relics more. One of the most important wonders we could get will be Cristo Redentor this game. If we can get that, it's a game changer because it eliminates the negative penalties to religious tourism. I think we're going to push for conservation right now. That's going to give us naturalists, envoys, tourism from walls. I'm going to go ahead and switch around my government here. I think I'm going to drop retainers. No, I'm going to drop conscription, keep retainers. I'm going to plug in limes so that we can build walls better. I'm going to take out charismatic leader and I'm going to pop in the double envoy card because we have a lot of envoys that we could potentially spend here. So we'll take that. I'm going to pop in here and let's see. We don't necessarily need to be suzerain, but we would like to get a lot of faith. So I'm going to put on one envoy in every city-state that is a faith city-state that I don't already have a relationship with. Boom. That takes us from 190 to 211. And then every city-state that I have at least two in, I'm going to try to put 1 in. So boom, and that takes us to 247. We also get some exploration from becoming suzerain. We did just get our chancery, so we are going to start benefiting a lot from that. Unfortunately, I don't think we have a good hill in this city. We might be able to get a Cristo in here. This city has decent production. It doesn't have amazing production. It has decent production. Now, Mont Saint Michel is okay if we wanted to generate relics. I think what we will do is granary, watermill, campus, encampment. What matters the most to us? Probably getting our walls up. I think that, like walls, somebody ran the maths on it a long time ago, but basically building walls gives you about the same amount of tourism per production that Building Wonders does. So it's on par with Building Wonders. It's not amazing, it's not mind-blowing, it's not game-changing, but it's decent. Let's build that mine right there. Let's build that mine right there. And go get this one. We found the Eye of the Sahara, which is cool. We have not yet found a luxury, which I think means we're not going to justify settling that island. If we could settle that elephant, it would make me happy. Maybe we should go for it. Next time we can afford a settler, we'll try to go for that elephant location. There's no luxuries down here that I need to settle for, so I'm not worried. We do have a second golden age coming. I love chain golden aging as Georgia. It is one of the few things that they do well. We're going all in on our walls because we're about to get conservation, so we're going to get the huge tourism bump from there. Forbidden City has been built. There's a few things kind of going around. It's fine. Exploring the ocean. You're checking out over here. Okay. Let's build that industry right there. You come on over here, go there. Just trying to get all of those tiles up. Yeah, we're going to want to extract these. We're going to need a lot of builders when the time comes. Although I think the city should build its ancient walls because our unique building is the Tsiki, which gives faith and extra tourism. And we get the double tourism and faith when we're in a golden age. So that's pretty damn good. I think it's what, 3 tourism, 4 faith, which would be 6, 8, not 6, 7. We found Taruga, a lot of city-states down here. Okay, there's mass production and quarry improvements, military science, metal casting. I think it would be good for us to get industrialization because we could get some factories out of that. So I'm going to begin the research. Although I'm going to research banking first so that we can maybe get visibility on monopolies. And I'm going all in on walls across my empire while we have the huge productivity bonuses towards it. There is a sneaky national park right here, which is actually pretty decent. It makes use of the mountain range and the deer. We may go harvest that deer when the time comes so that we can plant a forest there, because I don't believe there is a forest on that tile. No, there is not, and the forest might be better. But also just harvesting deer is worth production. Hippolyta has died. Okay, that's fine. Now into Tbilisi, we're going to get our Tsiki. Beautiful, keep it up. We'll get our medieval walls in there. And so really just our big focus right now is to get our walls up for the big tourism spike from conservation. We have 8 tourists right now, so we are starting to build up a little bit of tourism, but it is not that crazy. I think it's time for this spy to actually start doing missions, and probably the most useful thing it can do is to steal money from someone like Alexander. So I'll send my spy to go steal money from there while I continue to explore with my units. Let's quickly faith purchase a settler and see if we can't sneak our way over here. Is this where we want to settle? Let's settle on the wine so we can get a second copy of crab. I think that's fine. One thing I should do is I should look around and see if maybe there's some luxuries I can buy, because my happiness, my amenities is a little bit lower than it should be, or than I would like it to be. So let's buy those luxuries. What could we sell? I can sell this. I can sell this. I can sell this and this and this and this. All right, we got a lot of gold per turn from selling stuff to the AI. I don't think we have any room, but we do have a little bit of room for Great Works of Writing, so we could buy at least 2 more. Let's have a look at the Great Works screen. We'll look for Great Works of Writing. I'm going to buy 1, 2, 3, 4 Great Works. Oh, I can keep buying. I will keep buying as long as I can. Let's get the Tsiki in Mikshana. We're going to go for the medieval walls in Kumana. We're going to go for medieval walls here and medieval walls here. Just everywhere that it makes sense to. Everywhere that can build walls will be building walls, because it's up to 6 tourism per city, 9 in a golden age. 9 in a golden age is pretty damn good, considering we're playing the golden age civ, and we're most likely to stay there. There's another +4 era score. Beautiful. God, just deciding on what to build in my capital is really quite difficult. I just don't have that many good tiles. I think it would be good for us to get the theater square, so I will build that. Let's go ahead and found a city right here. I'm going to go for the ancient walls in that city immediately, because that will be worth immediate tourism. Like, we want that tourism tempo. The sooner you can start earning tourism, the sooner it starts paying off in terms of your victory condition. Tourism is one of those yields that you can't earn much of it early, but every single drop of it that you can earn early is worth a lot more than the later stuff. We should now, in theory, if we go to the nope, that's not the one. What am I looking for? The resource screen. Okay, so we can see that we have 0% control of marble. What could we get control of? Well, amber is going to be really hard. We have a near monopoly on wine. The only person who's even remotely contesting us is Gitarja, and so we should be getting a huge tourism bonus from luxury resource monopolies. Let's go and look at this resource screen here. So we've got a really good monopoly on wine. We've almost got a monopoly on silk. We've almost got a monopoly. Oh no, we don't quite. We're doing okay on mercury. Simon Bolivar has a monopoly on cotton. It might be worth to invade him to take that. Out of curiosity. Okay, so she has a silk industry over here and a tobacco industry. Man, it would be so tempting to invade her, because if we were to kill her, we would get a ton of monopoly benefits. It could be worth it. We'll have a think about it. I don't know if that's the path that I want to go down. I do want to steal as much of Alexander's gold as possible so that he can't fuel his armies. In Takshumi, I think An art museum would be great, but we do want to build our walls. So like walls is just the focus right now to make sure that we have them. I'm going to use gold to purchase the workshop in Santa Marta so that we can get industrialization purchased. Then in Gori, we want to be building up our holy sites. However, we do want to be getting the ancient walls because we're about to get that huge amount of a tourism injection into our economy. So that's our big focus. I'm even going to chop out walls in some of these new cities to try and get them up and running as soon as humanly possible. Okay, chop this out and then grab the Tsiki. Beautiful. Okay, keep exploring. Lovely. And we're making things happen. You may send an embassy to me. That's fine. We're lacking a little bit on the amenities department. That won't become that won't be a problem once we have our national parks up. We got the Tsiki in Beitsketa. We're not working that much in the way of unproductive water tiles, but I do think that the shipyard is still really good because it scales well into the late game. It might be worth it for us to get the watermill first, but I think we'll go watermill first just to buff up the city's productivity, and then we'll see where we stand. Now, Takshumi, let's go ahead and get the Tsiki. In Gori, we're going to go for the medieval walls. Remember, we build these things 3 times as fast as normal right now due to all the bonuses because we have the World Congress, we have the Limes card, so 100% plus 100% is 200%. So we have a 200% bonus towards building. Since you have a 100% speed towards building them in the first place, that means we have a 300% building speed, which means we build them 3 times faster. Kind of like do a little bit of head maths there. Let's chop this wall out, and then we're going to immediately go for the Tsiki in Zestefani, twin sibling of Gwen Stefani. Now, Alexander has declared war on us. I don't know why he's done that. I don't necessarily care. I would like to get natural history, right? Zoos are good. Ferris wheels give tourism. Aquariums give amenities. Like, there's a lot of really good stuff that's available here, especially the archaeologist in terms of tourism. But it's just not really the game that we're going for right now. I don't think we need the granary in Takshumi. It would be good to start spamming out builders. Let's have a look. We found a few antiquity sites. So with that in mind, we are going to grab ourselves an archaeological museum just so we can clean up those antiquity sites. We got the Tsiki in Rostavi. Let's get our amphitheater because we can buy more great works. In Zugdidi, we got our medieval walls. So we're going to get the Tsiki here. We want that faith. We want that tourism. So everything is just about walls. We're going to change our government. I'm going to plug out Diplomatic League, and instead I'm going to plug in Charismatic Leaders so we get more envoys. I think we're going to leave our government more or less the same as it is. Let's see, anyone selling luxuries? No luxuries for sale, unfortunately. I can, however, sell off some other things. And now we want to prioritize any religious city-states that we have at least 2 envoys in to get them to 3. That's going to take us from 306 faith all the way up to 334. And now we want to prioritize getting any envoy, any city-states to tier 3 relationship so that we can get the +3 faith in every worship and chancery building, because that's going to give us really good empire scaling. Make sure we buy this tile because this is part of our luxury plot. Zestefani, go ahead and get your old god obelisk. Keep it up. We chopped out the Tsiki in here. We're 8 turns away from conservation. The amount of... Oh, there are elephants here, but there's not enough loyalty. You know, we could make that work. If we wanted to be cheeky with a Tsiki, we can make that work. Cheeky with a Tsiki? That's probably the name of this whole run. I'm getting cheeky with a Tsiki. I could be like a pop star, you know what I mean? A Georgian pop star. What were those, the cheeky girls? You know the one I'm talking about? Okay, we're savaging the tourism situation. We've got 11 tourists. We're making a decent amount of tourism per turn. It's really going to jump up once we have conservation. Let's get our Tsikis. Then we got our medieval walls. Perfect. More medieval walls coming online. We're getting our Tsiki online in Tel Aviv. It would be nice to get the granary to give the city a little bit of growth power. I'm going to go ahead and put the plantation on the silk. So that will give us even more monopoly power. You're going to head out into the water so that you can go ahead and try to settle this elephant island. It would be kind of fun and sneaky to try to steal some. Trying to get an amber monopoly would be crazy. Well, we found where the citrus is, but it's on an island filled with madness. So we're just going to go ahead and slide away from that. We got the Tsiki in this city, whose name is unpronounceable to me. I'm going to go ahead and place the harbor, but I'm not going to build the harbor. I'm going to build a granary just to allow the city to grow a little bit quicker. We can wait an assignment here. Go ahead and gain spies. The reason that we gain spies is so that the spy has a higher chance of not getting captured when he runs the Siphon Funds mission, meaning we're more likely to benefit from putting a spy in there, and the spy is more likely to level up, meaning we don't have to reinvest into a spy. It's just like, it's the safest way to use a spy, and since spies cost resources to create, using them in the safest way possible is often the best way to make use of them. It's just like a calculation that you do in your head. Like, I have to build spies. If he gets captured, I might not be able to get him back. So I want to make sure that I protect my investment, my resource investment. Ooh, if we settled right here, we would be able to get another 2 copies of Mercury, which would actually be a really big deal, and a copy of Jade and a copy of Ivory. I kind of love this sneaky little elephant settle here. It might work out really well for us. Now, there is also some more Jade over here that it would be a lot of fun to go snatch up. So I'm wondering if maybe once we settle this city, could we do a chain settle and slip a settler through Mogadishu and get a city over here near the Jade. All right, there's square rigging, so we get a movement for our embarked units. We also got the Tsiki and Zogdidi. So that is the tourism well and truly online. Conservation is coming along. The watermill and the granary are great for growing tiles and growing cities, but is that what we need right now? I think it is. We get 100% production towards them. We could, in theory, purchase them because we do have suzerainty of Valletta. Never mind, Valletta was killed. So yeah, I think it's reasonable to build these. Let's go ahead and get our ancient walls in here. We get our ancient walls in here as well. You have your lighthouse. That's fine. We'll get our Tsiki in Gori. You're continuing to explore for me. Now, I don't remember why I built this builder. Probably just to improve these mines to give the city more production. We're getting some good exploration off. It is always worth it to explore a little bit. You're likely to find city-states. You're likely to find other players. You're likely to find, you know, tribal villages or relics or whatever. Like there's always something to be found on the map. So it is always worth it to be exploring. It's one of the key points of a 4X game, right? The first X is explore. So just always be exploring. There's rewards out there. There's potential to scale your build out there. There's just so much out there that you don't know. Aliens are real. Okay, so we got Theater Square. I'm going to quickly get the watermill and the granary just because we do have 100% production towards them, so it's probably the best time in the game to actually knock those out. We got the Tsiki in Kumana. I'm going to go for a grove in here in preparation for conservation. When we start getting the appeal in and around here up a little bit. Now, we are going to have to make sure we do a little bit of tile swapping because we want as many of the marsh tiles to be inside Kumana as possible, because Kumana has the special ability to make marsh tiles more appealing. So yeah, the appeal in here will be better due to Kumana's presence. We got a holy site in Poti. Let's go ahead and grab the ancient walls. Beautiful. Let's grab our Tsiki in Santa Marta. Beautiful. We got our ancient walls here. Let's get our medieval walls. Probably Omalo. You should get yourself a trader. I'm going to buy it with gold to save faith. Get your watermill and your granary, and then get your harbor. There's a +3 harbor right there. Trade routes are just always invaluable. Go ahead and gain sources. We gain sources so that the spy is less likely to get killed. We are at 2 of 2 spies. We have our trade capacity completed. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, I can't auto explore you because you have a promotion. Annoying. Now, if we settle right here, right on the edge of this island, we can probably squeak away with settling right next to these players. Go ahead and improve that hill right there to give Batumi a little bit more production. And it's kind of funny to be using builders that I stole for exploration. It's like the best use case that I can have for them is just like reveal the map. But we have like amazing exploration pulled off right here. Considering it's turn 161, what's our sim like? Yeah, our sim is starting to look really, really strong. We're up over 236 culture and up over 167 science per turn. We have nearly 400 faith per turn, which is going to be incredible. Faith is one of the most useful currencies in the late game when it comes to tourism generation, in particular with regards to generating national parks, etc. We got a granary in here. I'd like to work on this. It's fine. You'll be able to shoot this. God, I don't want to micromanage you. Go away. Now, I'm going to jump up there in preparation of stealing this elephant. We're going to settle right here as well to get this elephant. The elephant in the room. Okay. Now, this trader in Omalo, we want to trade with Tbilisi so that we can grow and produce in the city to get the walls up in a reasonable time. Let's go for the ancient walls over the harbor. It's just a little bit more important that we get those ancient walls up because we are about to hit the conservation giga timing. It's coming down the pipeline here. Okay, another person has declared war on me. No, he got a city-state to declare war on me. That's fine as long as it's not a... okay, our Ma just appeared. Not my Ma, our Ma. Okay, there's ancient walls. Let's get the medieval walls up. We're also going to get... Okay, we got Siki in Gori. Let's place the harbor. We're not going to build a harbor right now because we do want to build a shrine. Ooh, look at that. That's a lot of faith in that shrine. 8th fate for a shrine. We do have the wrong religion, unfortunately. Just can't get Buddhism to spread to me. I mean, choral music isn't bad, don't get me wrong. We'd much prefer choral music. The other one. Okay, so we don't need a holy site in here. We don't have a river to benefit from, and the river is a significant part of the benefit of this. So we will just quickly grab the Tsiki for tourism. And that's the reason why we settled a whole bunch of cities. If you're wondering, like, oh, why did Potato settle all the cities? Because you can use these cities to generate tourism. Like, that's the whole thing by building walls in them. Like, you turn your monumentality into settles, and then those settles become walls, and those walls become tourism. It's like a whole chain of production. Let's get that mine online. We'll get to work on our ancient walls. You're coming over here. Where is Edamananki, out of curiosity? Could I steal that from someone? Let me have a look around here. Who built it? It was Gitarja all those years ago? Well, now Killing Gitarja is the name of my next album. Let me see. Could I kill Gitarja in a pretty clean and easy fashion? I think it depends. The build we're going for isn't particularly good at war, but we could hit her. Let me have a look. What wonders does she have? So she has the Apadana, she has the Edamananki, she has Big Ben, she has Petra and Uluru. Like, these are all things that are worth killing someone for, if I'm going to be honest with you. Especially when you have this much marsh in your empire, and somebody sitting on the Edamananki, the absolute godlike Edamananki that would make these tiles super workable. I think I'm going to try to figure out a pathway to killing Georgia. No, not Georgia. Gitarja, sorry. I'm Georgia. I'm not going to kill myself. That doesn't make any sense. Why would I do that? Well, maybe in a Scorched Earth game, like I nuke my own cities if someone conquers me. Like that could be something you do. Okay, there's industrialization. We have factories. Beautiful. We will probably purchase a factory. Oh my god, there's so much era score. It's crazy. I'm probably going to purchase a factory for the purpose of getting the AoE production, because that's worth 3 production in every city that's in range of this industrial zone, which is a pretty not insignificant amount of production. In particular, if we can get the coal power plant. We do actually have coal. I mean, it's not the greatest adjacency, but if we get the coal power plant, it's another 3 production, which means this building becomes whatever's in range, right, times 3. So I think we have like 5 cities in range. That's like 15 production times 2 is 30 production. So this is like a 30 production industrial zone, which is just like insane. Let's quickly grab ourselves an archaeologist. This city has a ton of production. It could probably be the one to build the Crystal Redentor, honestly, which we would really like. If we could get the Eiffel Tower, that would be Pog as well. It's all, I'm not certain because we didn't get the most amazing tempo. We would love to get flight. We're going to be pretty heavy on the top half of the tech tree here for a long time. Now we are currently in the Renaissance era, so it is technically science efficient for me to focus on researching Renaissance era techs and wait for the industrial era techs to become cheaper in 5 turns. It's also potentially a really good idea for me to start purchasing builders with, like, to start pre-purchasing builders with faith. Question, should I go for the sneaky jade settle? I think we do. I think we go for this sneaky jade settle over here. There's at least amber and stuff, so let's do it. Sneaky jade settle, activate. We got the amphitheater, or sorry, we got the granary in here. We should get the amphitheater. Question, do I have room for great works? It doesn't look like we have much room for great works, so we're gonna chill. In Kutaisi, we have the harbor. Let's get the ancient walls. We got the Tsiki. Let's build the watermill. In Omalo, we're going to go for the medieval walls. We just want to get those walls up. I'm really excited to see how much my tourism jumps next turn when we finish all the walls. I don't know if we want the jade industry here. You know what? Just put the jade industry here. It's fine. I don't think it like changes the game too much if we do that. All right, dude, I'm really excited. Look at this jump, right? The conservation wall jump. That's what they call Super Mario. I don't know where I was going with that one. Okay, shoot this guy. All right, here we go. We're at 106 tourism per turn with a 200% modifier. I accept your deal. Go away. I want to see the So we're 106 tourism per turn. We should be getting between 3 and 9 tourism per city based on what level of walls they've built. Oh, look at that, 222 tourism per turn. We just doubled our tourism per turn just by researching conservation. This isn't even building the naturalists, right? That's why the pre-building the walls and timing it to right when you research conservation, meaning you minimize the amount of time you don't benefit from the walls. Plus, don't forget that we're actually a monarchy, so we get +2 diplomatic favor for every Renaissance wall, which is like crazy strong. And the Tiki does count as a Renaissance wall. So we have diplomatic favor for days to spend on whatever we want. Now, I do think the advent of conservation is a good time to end this episode, because we're going to start thinking about if we want to invade in the next episode. So I'm going to call that there. I want to thank you guys very much for watching. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.